Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to show you the best and worst tattoos I could find on the internet. We're going to go back to back. We're going to do it slightly different than I usually do it. Good, bad, good, bad, good, bad. Let's check them out. This is a guy with some awful looking face tattoos, and he's getting his gums blasted in different colors. God, what are we doing? What are we doing? This is barely a tattoo. It's more like dentistry. I've talked about it in the past. Absolutely foul, but clearly a really dumb thing to do when you're putting pink and yellow into peach red gums. Just dumb, stupid, bad tattooing. I'm sure these jabronis are having a great time. They look like they're doing what they love, being jabronis. So let's go to something good. This tattoo right here, it's done by Dwan Tattoo. Now, Dwan Tattoo might be the most talked about tattooer on this channel. I've spoken about him several times, sometimes in just complete envy and in awe. Sometimes I just feel like I'm in complete denial of how bad I am at tattooing in comparison to him. This is one of his more busy projects, and it's a snake that's becoming a skull that's also being broken down into like the earth and becoming fungus and becoming plants, and animals are jumping around this snake as it's decaying into this arm. Very, very busy. If you don't like tattoo because of how busy it is, I'm okay with that. But if you just go in and you break down all those details, one of the most beautiful, well-executed sleeves I have seen in probably ever. Now, I know a minute ago I said I talk about him in a few different ways. Sometimes it's in disgust and sometimes it's in awe. This time it's in awe. Other times it will be in disgust because he does these stupid, dumb, idiotic red and blue sleeves. They're meant to look like, I don't know, China, fine China, you know, where it's all white with blue. Just stupid way of tattooing. Even though it looks beautiful, because clearly he's an amazing artist, the long-term look of it will look like trash. Where that is not the same with this tattoo. Even with its complexity, I believe a lot of these details will show. And I think that this will be just an amazing sleeve for the rest of this young gentleman's life. I can get lost in this beauty for hours, but we don't have hours. This is Dwan Tattoo, my favorite and my least favorite tattooer of all time. Not of all time, and really not my favorite, just like an amazingly talented tattooer. On to the next. Who remembers this? Tony and Ezekiel. Go for yourself. Just kidding. Can't say F words on YouTubes anymore. Let me get that slobber off. This is bad tattooing for a completely different reason, right? There's no value here. It's just bad tattooing for bad tattooing's sake. Maybe she's friends with Ezekiel and Tony still, or they're ex-lovers and they signed their names after conquering her backside. I don't know. None of my business. As if this mandala dead moth wasn't enough of a target, now all her future boyfriends get to blow loads on Tony, Ezekiel. I don't know, I just have to say it like that, okay? This is bad tattooing for bad tattooing's sake. The whole thing is a mess, although the original tattoo of these like geometric death moth, not the worst. Okay, next, on to some good tattooing. Like I said, dude, we're going good, bad, good, bad, good, bad. We're just like hitting these different strains of tattoo. This tattoo is done by Bosen. Words can't express how beautiful and solid this looks. Beautiful Einstein. These are some beautiful tattoos. That Einstein, the 1994, just beautiful. Beautiful tattooing. I gotta be honest, there's some reference here that I'm not picking up. I know that that is from a video game, the skull with a thing and a skull. It's interesting the way he's meshed in this collage of different ideas and different styles of tattooing. That girl on the back, she has this like flame sleeve going on. Beautiful and interesting. I feel like this is the type of bodysuit you could just look at a million times and pick up something new. Clearly, the guy who got this tattoo is into video games, is into pop culture, is into a lot of different styles and things, and he's just like done such a beautiful job of tattooing this. There's a depth that is hard to really understand from my perspective as a tattooer. I go, how is he morphing different perspectives and different like elements without making them look too much and without them looking too detailed? It's just such a solid, beautiful tattoo. There's very little I can say except for like, enjoy this. And as a tattooer, if you are a tattooer at home, you go, God damn, how did he make that look so soft and so gray? And how did he make those, like, just as a tattooer, I look at other people's tattoos like this and I go, what am I doing? Some people are Shoheis and other people are playing in the minors, and I might be in the minors. That is some beautiful, solid tattooing. Let's keep the ball rolling. Let's get my confidence back up by looking at a big old pile of shit. I am who your am truth. Live am your who your truth I am. If that doesn't make sense to you, don't worry. It makes sense to no one. Not only do you have to be dyslexic to understand this one, but you're not going to understand it no matter what. Okay. This is obviously just piss poor tattooing. This is everything that the saying is supposed to say, live your truth and I am who I am, and live your truth, all combined into this thing, but it doesn't make any sense to anybody, obviously. This is like a poster, you see it in Airbnb, but it was done by someone who took the short bus. Like, there's just nothing, obviously, this is bad tattooing. You know what's funny? This week, I met a tattooer who I just couldn't stand. And I'm like, God damn it, dude. God damn it, dude. Some tattooers suck. Okay, some tattooers suck. I was like, oh, that person is the person that everyone complains about. And then obviously, he's just a crap dude. Why am I bringing it up on a video where I'm showing bad and good tattoos? No reason. I just wanted to tell you guys, because I know that there's a lot of you guys who have bad experiences with tattooers. And like, bro, so do other tattooers, dude. Like, I'm sometimes like, damn, dude, I hate these fucking cornballs. On to the next. Casa Sink. Casa Sink? I don't know who did this tattoo. I don't know what they were smoking when they were doing it, but I need to smoke a little bit of it. Because man, this is weird in the best kind of way. This sleeve bodysuit thing that's happening on this girl's neck, chest, and some onto her face is so unique and so different. And usually unique means crap, but there are some things about this tattoo that I am just so in love with. First off, a lot of her right sleeve is a blast over cover-up thing. Well executed, beautifully done. Just solid, rock solid, rock solid. I guess this video, when I saw it, reminded me to kind of be like, hey dude, there is some room for some weird interpretations of tattoos, and like this one just kind of flows with the body in the right way, and it makes sense, and it looks right, and I'm just excited to look at it because, you know, it's like this neo-trad mixed with tribal blast over, mixed with like just weird black and gray. I'm in. I don't know. On to the next. Okay. And then in my head, that entire conversation of like, hey, Kirk, stop being such a crotchety old tatter guy and being like, this is good and that's bad and this is, and then I see this and I go, God, that's a big pile of crap. I get if you're looking at it at home and you're not a regular viewer of mine, I get it. You haven't subscribed, you wouldn't know. You should subscribe so you find out. But this type of tattooing is very flawed. Why is it flawed? It's flawed because of this very simple idea. You, as a young tattooed person, probably have anywhere between 50 and 30 years left of life with these tattoos, right? It's not a crazy concept. If you're 20 you hope to live to 70. So you got 50 years to get a tattoo. If you're 30, hope to live 70, that's another 40 years. We're going to have tattoos for a long time. Now, one thing in tattooing will virtually stay the same with some obvious limitations. That's black. Everything other than black will change, and it will change much, much, much faster than 30 to 50 years. So colors like pink, light blues, yellows, greens, these different light tones, and especially I'm looking at this image, I see yellow, pink, red-ish, blue-ish, white-ish, gray-ish. Those colors are not going to last more than 10, 15 years max. Max, max, max. So when you're doing a tattoo like this, when I look at it, I say, wow, that's a big pile of shit. Even though you might look at it and be like, I like it. That's because your eyes are dumb. Because you haven't seen what I've seen. That's just because you haven't been in tattoo shops for as long as I have. Now, you spend a lifetime in tattoo shops, you get to see these colors change. And if you don't live your life in a tattoo shop, you just have to take it from me, these colors will change. So it can be frustrating because I go, man, such a beautiful idea done in the worst way of making art for this. Tattoos are not, it's not gonna be a tattoo. It's a scribble. It's gonna fade into nothing. On to the next. Now, this tattoo, I kind of wanted to show you by Shutterstock. Why did I want to show you this? Because one, I think it's a very interesting tattoo. But two, I wanted to show this tattoo off because I believe it shows how far you're able to take tattooing if you understand the rules and limitations. Now, personally, I think there's some parts of it that are a little too detailed. Hands, for example, the trigger on the shotgun, and some of the facial stuff. I think it's too small. I think the detail will be lost. Overall, does that matter too much? Not really. I think we'll still understand the image and the idea. But having said that, tattooing has its limitations. Anybody who wants to argue that with me will quickly realize that there is no arguing that with me. Things change, and tattoos are meant to last a lifetime. So if you're not doing your best to make them last a lifetime, you're making huge mistakes when it comes to tattooing. And you're just kind of an ass. But this shows you that you can venture off and do some wild stuff like meshing a traditional tattoo with that glittery type of blast stuff, and then some tribal. I'm in, I'm there, I wanna see it, I wanna see you guys continuing to push the boundaries, especially if you're able to pull it off, right? Like Shutterstock. Shuttercock. Now, we got some crap. This episode of today's thing, I hope it leads to two things. One, I hope for young tattooers and young viewers to continue to push the boundaries of what tattooing can be and explore like what a cool tattoo is. Two, I hope all you crappy tatters quit. I hope. Just quit. On to the next. Okay, this is MLC Tattoo. I like his tattoos. I saw this setup and to me, I was like, oh, they're making YouTube videos, awesome. They're gonna talk about tattoos or whatever. And then I quickly remembered and thought, no, that's a tattoo masterclass type of thing. This is a tattoo guy making videos to sell the videos to young tattooers. Now, I like his tattoos. There's just no way of getting around that, actually. I'm just kind of caught off guard, being like, God damn it, dude. I just wanted to be like, I love your tattoos. I like your tattoos. I just wanted to say that, and then I'm like, looking at the video setup, I'm like, no, he sells tattoo school things. It's just cheesy as fuck. Okay, so yeah, he's a great tattooer. Do I believe any tattooer should be doing tattoo school, teach you how to do tattoo things? No, I really don't. I think it's actually a big red flag for me. The reason is because when you sell something like, hey, this is how you tattoo, you give people the excuse to do the tattoos. Now, you could say, hey, they're going to do these tattoos anyways, and you might as well teach them how to do it well. And I go, yes, that's great, but you're still giving an excuse for young crappy tattooers to do their tattoos. And they might say like, hey, but these tattoo video things are made for people who are already professionals just to get better. And I go, hey, do a seminar. You know, I also just don't believe you can learn how to tattoo over video form. And I think like a conference or something like that is a way better way of selling your expertise without selling it to every single person. Yeah, on to the next. Now this is the song, it's got the song playing, please don't take all of the beautiful things. I don't know how that song goes. That's like the way I think the song goes. And then the guy does a backflip and that's the song. But this is not one of the beautiful things. This is one of those big piles of crap that you shouldn't get tattooed. It's supposed to be lightning. I don't know if it's lightning or roots. I don't know if it's supposed to be roots and I think it's lightning. Who knows? Who knows? There's a whole spectrum of tattooing that should just end because it's usually done in a dorm room. And look, I believe there's a tatter out there who can like pick up a machine and just be the best and just be great. And no matter what, however he gets into tattooing, he or she gets into tattooing, they'll be amazing, whatever. For the most part, that's not happening. Most people who learn how to tattoo out of their dorm room or anywhere else are dumb pieces of crap. You might think like, hey, that's kind of harsh, Kirk. And I go, yes, but they're ruining people's lives. They're giving them these pieces of crap tattoos that they have to regret for the rest of their lives. And tattooers are already going to do that enough. You might as well be doing your best to not do that. On to the next. This one is C's Tattoo. Japanese back piece. Beautiful, rock solid. I believe there's a cover up in there. I might be wrong, I'm not sure. Looks like there's a cover up in there. Just some beautiful, rock solid tattoo. I'm gonna leave it right here and then we're gonna go like, oh! C's Tattoo, you're the man. I love your tattoos. I hope you keep doing stuff like that because I get excited about big Japanese back pieces. We're gonna freeze fame. That's all. That's all. On to the next. Now, this is a bad tattoo. And this is a bad tattoo, not because the tattooer did a bad job, but because the client did a bad job. This is a bad tattoo that the client wants 100%. 100%. There's no way to make this tattoo look nice. Now, when I saw it, all I thought was, hey, this is a big pile of crap. And the second thought was like, how do you make that look nice? You don't. So this is my advice to this tattooer or any tattooer in this position where you have to give the client a bad tattoo because that's what they want. Don't take a video of it. Don't even take a picture of it. Honestly, don't even try and remember it. Try and push it so far out of your mind so I never catch a hint that it exists. This is a bad tattoo. And the tattooer should be able to spot that it's a bad tattoo. He should look at this and be like, I don't ever want to see this thing again. Because like, yeah, obviously it looks like crap. So that one's a bad tattoo and the tattooer did a bad job of because they filmed it. But on to the next. This is Sheng Yi New Assassin. I don't know how to say his name, obviously. I feel like my first initial thought is like the amount of variations of the color gray, not black and gray. This is the color gray that you're seeing tattooed into the skin. If you're at home and you're like, what's the difference between the color gray and black and gray? Black and gray is when they take black and they water it down. The color gray is when they take black and they put white into it. Does that make sense? Now, there's stuff in between that is like black that's watered down with a couple drops of white. That happens too. But this is what we're looking at is the color gray, black with white in it, that's being smashed into the skin. That's what's giving the variations of the gray here. And to me, I never like that. The reason I don't like that is because the moment you put white into black ink, I believe that makes the black less potent because of how weak white is. This is in the weeds. If you're a tattooer, maybe you find that part interesting. If you're not a tattooer, forget I ever said anything about it. This is beautiful tattooing. I think questionable if it's gonna look like this forever, but it might. On to the next. That is it. Except for this one thing. This is my favorite segment right now. This is what Kirk likes because this is what inspires me as a tattooer. This is my most selfish stuff. This is what I like, okay? This tattooer is Dwan Wu. or Dwan Tattoo online. I am going to show you his tattoos. I think that if you're the average viewer on this channel who's kind of into tattoos, kind of really into tattoos, not into traditional, maybe into traditional, there's a good chance you're going to look at his tattoos and be like, why am I looking to Kirk for any advice when it comes to tattoos? And let me break this down to you. Sometimes in tattooing, the people who look at it long enough start to like things that aren't quite commercial as what normal tattoo people are into. That is the truth. So let me break it down to you. I'll kind of just show you the tattoos. Look at this Jesus. This isn't the type of Jesus I would do because I'm not that brave. This is very interesting, super weird, strange type of tattooing. It's in the skin. It's gonna look like this for the rest of this person's life. And if you're at home, you might be like, that's a bad thing. If you're me, I go, oh my God, I love looking at it. Look at this one. This Snoopy crying, reading a book, horror, sleep type. What am I looking at? I don't know. Do I love it? Yes. This is the type of tattooing that I go, man, I like that. Look at this. A little perro, a little foo dog. This dog is a foo. Yeah, it's just cool. Look at this. A little homage to Daniel Higgs, my favorite tattooer of all time. A little thing. This is this guy inspires me as a tattooer. Again, you know when people are really into music, like really into music, and all of a sudden the Foo Fighters doesn't cut it for them, right? Because like they're so into music and that just feels too commercial for them. So they start getting deeper down the hole of what music is. And they get to places that you're like jazz, for instance, or like that kind of, you know, like that type of jazz. I don't even know what it's called because it's so crappy. But like music people are like, that's real music. That's how I feel when I look at his tattoos. I go, I get why people would hate this. And I love, this is like, in my soul, I go, that's what I want a tattoo to look like. All dumb like. I hope I did a good job of explaining, you know, what style means to me as a tattooer. I don't think I did. But the rest of the video is probably entertaining. So I hope you have a good one. See you in a few days.